Whispers of a Rift. The truth about Jerry Yin and Tong Liya's strained days. When Jerry Yin and Tong Liya quietly stepped back into the public eye together, fans felt a wave of relief. After all, the pair had been through storms of speculation, moments of silence, and the heavy weight of personal history. Their reunion symbolized hope, a chance to heal, to start fresh, and to remind the world that sometimes love finds its way back, no matter how far apart two hearts may have drifted. But now, new whispers are beginning to emerge. Whispers that question whether the glow of their comeback is fading. Are Jerry Yin and Tong Liya truly moving forward in harmony, or are they experiencing strained days that could test the strength of their bond? Let's dive deep into the truth behind these rumors, peeling back the layers of speculation, public reaction, and the undeniable pressures that come with being two of the most recognized faces in the entertainment world. At first glance, everything seemed perfect. Their joint appearances were warm, their chemistry intact, and their fans, both in China and across Asia, were more supportive than ever. But as time passed, some subtle cracks began to appear. Eagle-eyed fans noticed moments of distance in their body language. At one event, Jerry Yin walked slightly ahead of Tong Liya, barely turning back, a small action that some claimed hinted at tension. In another interview, Tong Liya gave short, carefully measured answers whenever their relationship was brought up. Individually, these moments could be dismissed. But together, they began to fuel a narrative, one that suggested the couple might be facing quiet challenges behind closed doors. Sources close to the entertainment industry added more fuel to the fire. A reporter claimed that Jerry Yin, known for his reserved personality, has been struggling to adjust to the newfound scrutiny their relationship has attracted again. Meanwhile, Tong Liya, who is fiercely independent and career-driven, is said to be balancing her personal life with an upcoming slate of professional projects, leaving little time for personal reflection. And then there's the shadow of the past. Jerry Yan's history with highly publicized romances has often created media storms, while Tong Liya's previous heartbreak made her vow to protect her peace at all costs. Could these unresolved wounds be resurfacing now, causing friction in their day-to-day lives? One insider put it this way: it's not that they don't love each other. It's that love alone isn't always enough. Timing, circumstances, and the ability to adapt, these are key tests. Fans, of course, have been quickly analyzing. Social media has become a battlefield of interpretations. Some say Jerry Yin looks tired, distracted, or even distant, while others defend him, reminding everyone of his introverted nature. Tong Liya, on the other hand, has been praised for her strength but also accused of appearing emotionally detached. But here's the question we must ask: are these strained days signs of a rift, or are they simply the normal growing pains of two people rebuilding their lives together under the spotlight? Relationships, even private ones, go through cycles of closeness and distance. For Jerry Yin and Tong Liya, every gesture, every pause, and every silence becomes magnified 100 times by the media lens. What might be a simple moment of reflection between them quickly transforms into a headline about trouble in paradise. To add to the speculation, Jerry Yin recently made a cryptic comment during an interview. When asked about love, he said, "It's about patience. It's about waiting for the right time and the right way." Fans couldn't help but wonder, was this a subtle admission that things with Tong Liya weren't as smooth as they appeared? Tong Liya, on her side, posted a social media update with a single line: "Strength comes from within." No direct mention of Jerry Yin, no obvious connection, but the timing was enough to make fans suspicious. Was it a message about her personal struggles, or just a general reflection on life? The media has taken these breadcrumbs and spun them into a full narrative of discord. Headlines scream about distance, about fading chemistry, about whispers of a rift. And yet, both Jerry Yin and Tong Liya remain silent, neither confirming nor denying the stories. This silence leaves room for endless speculation. Some argue that their silence is a way of protecting something fragile, shielding their relationship from outside noise. Others believe the silence is telling, that it reflects a tension they're not ready to address publicly. Let's not forget the pressures they're under. Jerry Yin is not just a former idol. He's a cultural figure, someone whose every move has been dissected since his Meteor Garden days. Tong Liya, meanwhile, has fought hard to carve out her identity in an industry that often prioritizes image over individuality. Together, they are expected to be perfect, to represent love that is unshakable. But real life is far from perfect. Behind the glamorous photo shoots and carefully curated public appearances, there are conversations, arguments, and silences that no one sees. That's the reality of love, and perhaps the very reason fans are so invested. Because in Jerry Yin and Tong Liya, people see not just celebrities, but two humans trying to navigate the complexities of relationships. The truth may be much simpler than the headlines suggest. Perhaps they are not on the verge of a breakup, but simply learning to balance love with the weight of expectation. Perhaps the so-called strained days are nothing more than a phase, one that will pass with patience, understanding, and time. Or perhaps the whispers are pointing towards something deeper, unspoken doubts, unhealed wounds, or diverging paths that might eventually pull them apart. Only Jerry Yin and Tong Liya know the full truth. And until they choose to share it, the rest of us are left with fragments, snippets of interviews, social media posts, and glimpses of body language. Fragments that we piece together into a larger story, whether accurate or not. One thing is certain, the world continues to watch. Their fans, loyal and passionate, hope for the best, that love will win, that the bond they rebuilt will survive the test of time. And perhaps that's the lesson here. Not to judge too quickly, not to assume, but to understand that even those we admire most face struggles we cannot see. For Jerry Yin and Tong Liya, these whispers may be nothing more than passing shadows. But they are also a reminder that relationships, no matter how strong, require care, effort, and the courage to face both the beauty and the strain. So, are Jerry Yin and Tong Liya truly facing a rift? Or are they simply enduring the kind of moments that test every relationship, famous or not? The answer lies not in the whispers, but in the days ahead. Until then, we wait, we watch, and we wonder, will their love story withstand this new chapter, or will the whispers of a rift grow louder than the voices of their hearts? But even as whispers of a rift grow louder, there's another side to this story, one that suggests Jerry Yin and Tong Liya may be quietly weathering the storm together rather than falling apart. In moments away from the spotlight, people close to the couple say they've seen signs of quiet understanding. A staff member who worked on a recent shoot with Tong Liya mentioned she smiled whenever Jerry's name came up. It wasn't the smile of someone bitter, it was the smile of someone who still cares deeply. Those small details are often invisible to the public, but they paint a very different picture than the headlines suggest. Jerry Yin, too, has been dropping subtle hints. Though his interviews are famously guarded, fans notice that when asked about his greatest comfort, he paused before saying, "It's knowing that there's someone who believes in me, even when I don't believe in myself." He never named Tong Liya, but the timing of the comment, just days after the rumors of strain began, spoke volumes to those who follow his journey closely. This duality, public whispers of distance, private glimpses of closeness, is what makes their story so compelling. Because in truth, real relationships often exist in that gray space, balancing highs and lows, closeness and distance, hope and fear. Still, the weight of outside pressure cannot be underestimated. For Jerry Yin, the idea of love has always been shadowed by expectation. As a star who defined an entire generation with Meteor Garden, the public has always expected him to be the perfect romantic hero. Tong Liya, meanwhile, carries the weight of being not just an actress, but a symbol of resilience after heartbreak. Together, they are asked to embody ideals of love and strength that few real people could ever live up to. And that's where the strain may truly lie, not between their hearts, but between reality and expectation. Because how do you love freely when every gesture is dissected? How do you build trust when the world demands answers to questions that should remain private? Some fans believe the key lies in time. Time for them to create boundaries, time to build trust without rushing, and time to understand that love is not a performance, but a private choice. Others, however, fear that time may not be enough, that external pressures, family expectations, and the constant buzz of the media might erode what they're trying so hard to protect. The media, of course, thrives on these uncertainties. Every time Jerry Yin steps out without Tong Liya, or Tong Liya attends an event without mentioning Jerry, the whispers grow louder. Headlines paint the absence as distance, silence as conflict. Yet those closest to the couple urge fans to see things differently. They are both busy, they are both human, one insider explained. Not appearing together all the time doesn't mean they are falling apart. It just means they are living their lives. And perhaps that's the greatest truth of all. For Jerry Yin and Tong Liya, these so-called strained days might not be cracks in their bond, but the natural ebb and flow of a real relationship. No love story is without its shadows. No couple, no matter how strong, is immune to moments of doubt. But it is how they face these shadows that will determine their future. Will Jerry Yin, the man who has always been cautious with his heart, allow himself to open fully this time? Will Tong Liya, the woman who has rebuilt her life from broken pieces, allow herself to trust again without holding back? These are the questions that fans can only guess at, but the answers rest solely with them. For now, the whispers continue. Some call them warnings, others call them noise. But in the silence of Jerry Yin and Tong Liya's hearts, the truth is being written, moment by moment, choice by choice, day by day. And perhaps that's what makes this chapter so captivating. Because whether they emerge stronger than ever or drift apart under the strain, their story reminds us that love, real love, is never simple, never easy, and never without its tests. The truth about their strained days may not be scandal or betrayal. It may simply be humanity. Two people, imperfect yet hopeful, navigating the most fragile and powerful bond of all, love. So as fans and onlookers, we are left with the question, will Jerry Yin and Tong Liya's whispers of a rift fade into silence, proving their bond unshakable? Or will those whispers echo into reality, marking the end of a story so many hope would last forever? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, whatever the outcome, Jerry Yin and Tong Liya's journey continues to captivate, inspire, and remind us that even behind the brightest lights, there are shadows we cannot see. And maybe, just maybe, love is found not in perfection, but in the courage to keep walking forward, even when the days feel strained.